Good evening everybody, welcome back to Broadwood Stadium in Cumbernauld for tonight's second rugby match. This one is between Scotland under-20s against the French under-20s. It's one of the most experienced Scottish under-20s teams of recent years. All of tonight's starting lineup have played already in this year's Six Nations at under-20 level, and 7 of the side have reached double figures in international caps. Rory Howarth of Gala starts at fullback, Rory Hutchinson reverts to outside centre alongside Tom Galbraith, and the speed merchants on the wings are Ben Robbins of Currie and Hawick's Darcy Graham, who wears number 11. Adam Hastings is released by Bath to play standoff, and Hugh Fraser plays his 4th consecutive game at scrum half. There is added power and experience in this Scotland pack tonight, with the return to under-20 colours of the full internationalist Zander Fagerson on the tight head. He wears number 3. He plays with Murray McCallum and Jake Kerr in a very strong front row. The oomph from the engined row come from 2 young giants in Callum Hunter-Hill and the team captain Scott Cummings. The breakaways are Andrew Davidson and Matt Smith. Ali Miller from Melrose is number 8. Pause now for the national anthems.
Dans nos campagnes, mugir ces féroces soldats qui viennent jusque dans nos pas, égorger nos fils et nos compagnes. Aux armes, citoyens, formez vos bataillons, marchons, marchons.
For Scotland.
O flower of Scotland, when will we see your lights again? That fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen that stood against him. Proud Edward's army had sent him homewards to think again. Those days are past now, and in the past they must remain. For we can still rise now and be that nation again that stood against him. Proud Edward's army and sent him homewards to think again. Let's go, boys!
So there we are, Flower of Scotland there, sung by the Scottish team. You can see the rain falling here at Broadwood Stadium. Another guy dreich night, as they say, in these parts. However, to brighten things up, I've got alongside me former Scotland international and Scotland's first centurion of international caps, and that's Chris Patterson. And Chris, the Scots and the French at under-20s level are level at on 4 points each. The French have a marginally better points difference though.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Delighted to be here and looking forward to another cracking match. You were here, what was it, 6 weeks ago or so for Scotland's opening game against England, and we were served a treat really. Scott Cummings led his team so superbly well. That form's continued. A narrow loss in Wales, a fantastic win against Italy. Whereas the French, well, you always fear the French at this level because they're so powerful, have so much guile, so much speed. We don't see that at a national level from the French at the moment, but this team are fully tries, as you say, a better points difference in Scotland. But, well, I think Scotland are an experienced side, and we look forward to the match this evening.
There's a couple of names that the Scots might like to watch out for on the French side, Scottish listeners that is. Number 12 is Damien Penaud, whose father Alain Penaud played for France away back in the late 90s. And at number 8 for the French is Alexandre Roumat, who's the son of Olivier Roumat, who played 61 times for the French, 89 to 96. That is Concordier, this big, brawny French breakaway, wearing number 7. Here, however, is Jake Kerr, Boroughmuir, 5th under-20s cap tonight, and there's the Scots line out with some big, big units in there. Big Callum Hunter Hill standing, taking it all in. But the biggest man is number 4 for the French, at 6'8", Florian Verhaeghe. Well done, the Scots, you might say, for taking that one. That was Ali Miller, and then the white-shirted Scots driving this maul. Here's Matt Smith now, who's ball in hand, and he's had a try in each of the 3 Scottish games so far. The hit up by Fagerson, number 3 for the Scots, and away it goes by Fraser. That looked like almost a tip tackle there. Referee playing a little bit of advantage. Scots are up amongst them. Dupont, the scrum half, in being chased all over the place, and it's a wet ball tonight, Chris, so a wee bit difficult for some handling in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually heavy rain at the moment. It was certainly heavy for the women's fixture beforehand, and you can see that already. The French defence has been pretty impressive. It's a good line out by Scotland. Ali Miller took it well. Matt Smith came off the back of the drive. There's Olivier Roumat, his son Alexander is playing at number 8. I played against him a few occasions, and well, he was a big man, put it that way, a big angry man, put it that way. But
he never laid a hand on you.
No,
tell the truth.
well, he tried. But yeah, Scotland is pleased with that first set piece, a good line out. But then the way the French defence got organised, came off the line, put the Scots under pressure, and Tom Galbraith was hit pretty hard in the midfield.
Front row of McCallum, Kerr and Fagerson for the Scots. It's Castet, the captain, on the loose head on the far side for the French. Fourcade is the hooker. Setiano is the tight head. The French breaking away there and disrupting the Scots. Tremendous burst of pace here. That's Dupont. Great pick-up and bundled into touch, and some scramble defence there by the Scots, and they needed it. All of this done at top speed by the French.
Yeah, it just shows you how sharp they are. They've always got clever half-backs, and Dupont there, the scrum half, he was first to react to a powerful scrum by the French, and Dupont puts Ali Miller under pressure. Currie gets his foot to it as well, and then it's a race between Hastings and Dupont. Tom Galbraith gets back and makes it a good challenge on the scrum half, but it's early pressure for the French.
Just into touch, and Adam Hastings really had to pull out the stoppers there to keep up with Antoine Dupont. However, there's a lovely line out take by Scott Cummings, the Scottish captain. Whoa, see how slippy the ball is? Back it goes. But it was knocked on first. Let's see what the referee gives for this decision tonight.
Yeah, I think they're saying it was knocked forward by France. So it should be I think it was knocked forward by Matt Smith. His initial movement, the referee, was to award the scrum to Scotland, but I think it was knocked forward by Matt Smith. A long pass early on. Another good line out to start with, but that's the opening 2 lines have been won well, but the ball's been turned over within a phase and allowing the French guys to assert more pressure. The first scrum was good from the French, so this scrum from Scotland, they really have to dig in and defend the line.
Dom Foley is tonight's referee, keeping an eye on things. Here's the French with tremendous power in that scrum, held at the back by Roumat. Is he giving a penalty try? It's a penalty try for the French. They've barely played 4 minutes, and that really, well, it's a bit of a challenge to the Scots at this early stage in the game.
Yeah, it's a quick penalty try, but you can see the French team are in the ascendancy. They're driving legally, they're driving straight. Roumat just can't control the ball. I think a boot came in from one of the Scots players. That's probably what the penalty try was given for. The try would have been scored. It's a fantastic start by the French. They've changed 2 of their props since the last outing, and they're certainly coming up with the good so far. An early penalty try to the French, similar to the women's game just prior.
There's Belleau with a conversion attempt. So, an early change on that scoreboard. There it is, Scotland 0, France 7.
You can see the French driving forward straight. Zander Fagerson, this right-hand side for Scotland, was turned in towards the French loose head, but that's what it means to the French. They love a scrum. They celebrate a scrum. Quite right, they're celebrating a try, but they do love their scrummage.
So that's the gauntlet well and truly thrown down there as Scotland get this game underway here at Broadwood Stadium in Cumbernauld. It's an artificial surface, quite wet here tonight. Pick and drive by the French. Look how muscular and physical they are as they go into the contact there. And a half charge down of Dupont's clearance kick there.
Good pressure by Callum Hunter-Hill. He's getting in, putting pressure on Dupont's clearing kick. It means the French have the thrown to the line out, but that's exactly what you want to see in the opening 5 or 6 minutes, is pressure being put on their key decision makers. And Callum Hunter-Hill got up well there. That's Ruairi getting ready for the line out for France.
Plenty jumpers on both sides. Up goes number 7 for the French. That was Currie, but knocked on by the Scots. The Scots have got a big line out as well, because Hunter-Hill is 6'6". He's number 4 for the Scots. Cummings, the captain, is 6'6". Davidson, number 6, is 6'7". So you know they've plenty target men in that lineup.
Yeah, well, Andrew Davidson's played most of his rugby as a second row. He's effective on the blind side, but he certainly brings that added height to the back row, and another great line-out option. Jake Kerr has a good throw of the ball, and got another opportunity here. It was deemed to be not straight by France, and I think Scotland opted for the line-out over the scrum.
Tap back by the French, a wee bit risky in these wet conditions, but they've tidied it up beautifully with Castet, the captain, coming round to clean it. There's Dupont over the top as Davidson threatened. Waiting on that touchline are the Scots. One interception there of the infield pass. And that was Pinot who was alert to that. Here come the French again, asking lots of questions, and the Scots falling off 1 or 2 tackles, which John DL, the coach, will not be too happy about. Here's Dupont. Castet, the captain, leading by example. There's a turnover for Scotland, and they needed that. This is Buros, full back. Tall, willowy sort of lad. Oh, and almost an interception there by Robbins for Scotland. Well, it's all happening here tonight. We've only played, 7 minutes, and the French lead 7 points to 0, but interceptions, well, almost had another 2 or 3 there.
Yeah, you can see the rain falling as well, and it's great to see the ambition that these youngsters are playing. This is the first one. I think Tom Grace knows where the space is, but it was well read. Was it Howarth? Sorry, it was well read by Pinot, and this is the second one from the French. A big long pass by Ballou, trying to find the space on the outside edge. The longer the pass, the longer the ball's in there, the more time it gives the defender to make a read like that. And Darcy Graham read that. Ben Robbins, read that really well, and just unfortunately couldn't quite get his hands on the ball. It's another scrum. The scrum's not been great so far for Scotland, so this will be an important time to get the scrum right, set it early, get the ball in and away, and try and keep their hands on the ball for a few phases to put the French under pressure.
Murray McCallum at number 1 on this side of the front row for the Scots. Jake Kerr is hooking Zander Fagerson on the far side. And away at the back with the black scrum cap is Melrose's Ali Miller. Used to be at school in Long Nidri away down in the east coast there, and then Preston Lodge and Musselburgh rugby clubs, George Watson's College. So his rugby education has been fostered in lots of different places. There's the pop in. Oh, and a very awkward ricochet, well cleaned up by Miller. Hastings puts boot to ball. Buros covers. It's just going over the try line. That's a 22 dropout. Young Romain Buros, who plays his rugby down at Pau, in his 4th under-20s international tonight.
Better scrum that time from Scotland. A good strike, a good clean strike. Ali Miller just unfortunate, couldn't control at the back of the scrum. They had an interesting play set up. But Hastings put boot to ball, and now the French get to clear from the 22 and hopefully a counter-attack from the Scots.
Here come the Scots. Adam Hastings again, just dummying the pass and then thinking about having a go, but he ran into big Tongi, this big 17-stone lock forward. There goes Fraser at scrum half, along the line for the Scots. They seem just a little bit out of sorts at the moment, Chris. Not quite as rhythmic as they were against England.
If you watch here, you see the French defence. There's no French player off their feet. They're all on their feet. They're all on the defensive line, and that puts huge pressure on the attack.
There's the Scots going in to clean that ball back. Fraser again. Fagerson. Fagerson drives on. This is what Scotland would expect from this laddie who's had international experience against England, of course, in the Six Nations this season at senior level. Hastings with a wee chip over the top. Lovely take there by Dupont, the scrum half. Read that beautifully. Now it's a question of who can get hands on this. It really is bouncing around, very lively. Holding on by France, penalty for Scotland. Opportunity to get 3 points on the board, perhaps.
Yeah, you see Adam Hastings immediately pointing at the sticks. I think that's Andrew Davidson, sorry, helping his team out by helping win the penalty. Here's Zander Fagerson, his first start for the 20s after, as you say, being involved in the national set. He carried really well for Glasgow Warriors last Sunday against Cardiff, and he's carried it on here. Adam Hastings then spies a bit of space in behind, but that's a great cover and catch by Dupont, the scrum half. The space was there when Hastings looked up, but Dupont got over, got his hands on the ball, but was deemed to have held on too long. Scotland getting over the top and winning the penalty with Adam Hastings, his first opportunity from, what was that, 35, 37 metres?
About that, yeah. Here he is. He was playing for Bath last week, but he's been released by Bath Rugby in order to play this international. And there you can see how heavy and steady the rain is here in Cumbernauld this evening. Hastings in to get Scotland's first points on the board, if successful. That looks pretty good. Yeah. So there go 3 points onto the Scottish score. Scotland 3, France 7.
That's a good penalty.
After a kind of shaky start,
yep.
Chris.
That's a good penalty by Adam Hastings. A long way out in miserable conditions. Well struck. Never in doubt, always going over. But for the little possession and control Scotland have had, 3 points is a good reward, and it puts France under a little bit of pressure. Well done to Scotland getting back in the game.
Lovely take there by big Andrew Davidson of that French restart kick. Now here's Scotland with this maul, which when we were here 6 weeks ago playing against England, this was a very effective phase of Scotland's play. And look at this, they've moved that 12 metres already. Great team discipline. Advantage being played to Scotland. Here it comes along the line now. Hastings in the inside centre berth, trying to offload, but he can't quite. Back they go for the penalty.
Well, that's an impressive drive, isn't it, from the Scots? They've been so clinical in the drive from the line out, and that there, setting up a drive like that from open play and just pushing the French back. The French can do nothing about this. Once a drive starts, it's very difficult to stop. The skill isn't getting the setup right, getting the ball to the back and keeping your control, because the only thing the French can do is either try to tackle it or come in from the side illegally, and Scotland quite rightly win the penalty.
There's young Hastings in, who's just 19 and has been playing rugby for Bath, and there on the right with the beard is Thomas Lievremont, the manager of this French under-20 side.
And Didier Retier on his right hand side, our left. He's in charge of the development rugby in France, former French prop.
See how difficult it is to grasp this ball tonight. That could have been knocked on by the Scots. Maybe the French got a hand to it. Oh, Robbins waits. Well, that was Darcy Graham actually away in the far side, playing on the right wing with number 11 on his jumper. So knocked on, and it'll be a scrummage. Lots of spectators here tonight, and lots of parents, of course, and school friends and teammates are here to watch this international. The Scots have never beaten French at this level. In fact, last year the French won 47 points to 6, and the best the Scots have ever done was an 8-all draw. So they might want to make a bit of history tonight. They've done it already in beating England for the first time. See how hard that ball is to catch. Fed away there by Currie. Out it goes along to the far side. This is Voisin, the wing forward. Big rangy runner. Back in field it comes. That was Ruma. And you just get the feeling that this set of French youngsters, Chris Patterson, want to get ball in hand and run and express themselves.
Yeah, two really good pieces they play there. One by Currie defensively for France, and then this is his fellow flanker, Voisin, opening the legs on the wide outside, trying to free his hands to get the ball back inside to Dupont, but well covered in the end. But they're so dangerous. There's a dangerous back row there in his day for France. Olivier Magne, quite similar actually what we saw there. Voisin, that's how he used to play. Olivier Magne now putting instruction on. A Rolls Royce of a back row player, tough as nails, but he was a good ball carrier.
Here's the line out then, just in front of the main stand. Olivier Magne there with the head, the wee hat and the microphone there, just communicating with other members of his management team. And this is Hugh Fraser. Plays his rugby at Heriot's, popping the ball in, number 9 for Scotland. It's at the feet of Ali Miller. Good drive by the Scots again. Scrummage penalty, and this is an area the Scots will want to sort out after that early defeat in the set scrum where the French won a penalty try.
Yeah, here we go. Flexing a bit of muscle. The French don't like being bullied on the scrum.
Ooh la la.
But here we go. They're still
big guy with a beard on the left is number 5 for the French, Mathieu Tanguy.
But this is much better from Scotland. You see Zander Fagerson low there, Andrew Davidson's back at number 6 low, driving forward, the French stepping round, coming in at the angle. Clement Castet, the captain, penalised for France. Much better from Scotland, a good turnaround in the scrum. It just shows you how difficult it is to get right. You know, we used to see, I suppose in the olden days or the years gone by, you would see one side being dominant throughout the entire game in the scrum. Now it changes from scrum to scrum. If you get technically right, which is difficult to do, you'll dominate that scrum, and as soon as you get it right, it'll be good, but it's so hard to get that right.
I think Fagerson against Castet is vital for the Scots, because Castet is the French captain, and if Zander Fagerson can exert a bit of superiority, there he is, number 3 in the back of the white jersey there. Yes. One Scottish cap. If he can exert superiority over Castet, the captain, in that set scrum, then who knows what might happen to French morale. There might be a few ooh-la-las and zut alors. Anyway, here come the Scots. The pick up and drive by Matt Smith. Ball squirting out of hands, taken on by, that was Darcy Graham there, the young Hawick Wanderers winger, and played a game or two for Hawick. Here go the Scots again. The great hit up by Smith, this young wing forward from the Glasgow Hawks. Hastings looking for runners. Fagerson was there.
Look at the French defence again, Bill. They're all on their feet. They're working so hard in the tackle.
Great pass round the back there to Jake Kerr, but I think the ball might have gone forward.
Yeah, there's another bit of scrapping going on this touchline. Jake Kerr's not happy, but the French are so quickly back to their feet after making the tackle.
Anyway, there we go. Here's the scrummage, and just on the French side of halfway. And this wee flying machine, Antoine Dupont from Castres, same club as Richie Gray plays at. Got the put in, but there's that Scottish scrum working very hard. Almost got the French on retreat there.
Yeah, I think McCallum on the loose head side for Scotland's doing a really good job there. You can see the angles are good. Low, if you watch his feet in a really strong position, the tight head for France, the feet are too far back, he's not got the stability. McCallum drives through. It's a reset scrum, but Scotland can be proud with how they've turned round their scrum woes in the opening 10 minutes to what they're doing now.
This artificial surface here at Broadwood Stadium, of course, is quite wet, because they've had rain right through the previous game here tonight, which was the Women's International, which France won. And there you are, you can just see water lie on the arms of the players as they bind in the scrum, and that scrum absolutely locked solid. Look at the tremendous mechanical positions there for the players. Here comes Lavo in off that right wing, well tackled by the Scots cover. Out it goes along the line. Lovely running by Pinot. Elegant running. Ball squirts away. Cleaned away by the Scots. Back it goes. What can they do with this time? There goes Hastings. He wants to run it out, but the French are up to it. And Bello, the standoff, was keeping a beady eye on his opposite number, Adam Hastings there. There he is, young Hastings.
Yeah, I think he knew there was a scrum advantage, certainly. And I like to see that in the players. You know, the fact that they knew the advantage was coming. If you kick that away, if it's a scrum advantage and not a penalty advantage, you quite often lose the opportunity to attack. So it's good to see Adam Hastings having a look at attacking first, and then, because it wasn't successful, we can always come back to another scrum. I think the front 5 are just recovering from the last one. The ball was at the back of the scrum for a good 8 or 10 seconds, and they were locked out. Full power mode. It takes a bit of recovering from that. They'll not thank, I think, Damien Pinot for spilling the ball in contact and going back into the scrum so soon after the last one.
Tremendous pressure there amongst these guys. The Scots pack is about 12 pounds a man heavier on paper. Well, on the field.
Strong paper, Bill.
Yeah. statistically they are 12 pounds a man heavier, and you would expect that to show in the set scrummaging. You never know how accurate these stats are.
Technique is so
very important.
And in a simple way, if you're square, you're stable. So all 3 or 6 front rows, your feet in line, your hips in line, your shoulders in line, you want to be square and stable.
This is where all the practice and all the coaching come into their own. That's a solid